And welcome back to Everyman Driver. Alongside Alex DeFries, I'm Dave Erickson, coming to you from the beautiful inland northwest of Spokane, Washington. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can receive updates on our new video uploads.
Well, Dave, we are sitting on a 2013 Kia Rio SX GDI, and this thing packs a lot of surprising features with a pretty small price tag.
Can't wait to tell you all about the new Kia Rio coming up on this episode of Everyman Driver.
The engine in the 2013 Rio is a direct injection four-cylinder that produces 138 horsepower with 123 foot-pounds of torque. GDI here stands for gas direct injection, and while the engine's fine, when you're getting up to highway cruising speed, this thing isn't exactly a rocket ship. Dave, how's it do at the pump?
Well, gas mileage is pretty darn good. In fact, 28 miles per gallon rated in the city, up to 36 in the highway. And I think the important number here is 31. That's what they project for mixed driving. And I know with gas prices the way they are and people looking for that 30 mile per gallon mark, this makes a lot of sense in terms of saving money at the pump.
Absolutely, and this really was never designed as a driver's car. So the people that are going to buy this probably aren't going to mind the lack of power.
It is a gorgeous day here in the inland northwest. Let's open the sunroof and talk about the ride and handling inside the 2013 Kia Rio. What's your experience been like this week behind the wheel?
Well, this has really been a mixed bag overall. As I said during the Under the Hood segment, engine is slightly underpowered, and more than that, there's quite a bit of engine noise. If you don't have the radio going, you're going to hear this thing drone on, and more than that, it feels like it's working. Even under normal acceleration, it feels like it's working, and you never like that. That being said, ride isn't terrible. It's a little jarring, not unlike the Sportage that we tested a while back, and the steering is a little light, but again, you're going to find this in a lot of cars in this segment. Overall, not bad.
This is not the car you research or potentially purchase if you're looking for a driving experience.
No, absolutely not. That being said, Kia's done a great job with most of this interior. I think that the overall dash is perhaps the best layout in Kia's lineup. You're getting the same infotainment system that you're going to get on the rest of them. You're going to get the same instrument panel, or very similar as to what you're going to get on the Sportage. So you even get these aircraft style toggle switches along the bottom, leather wrapped steering wheel. So they've really thought this car through. It doesn't feel like a $21,000 car where we're sitting.
No, I really think this is an upscale look we have here on the dash, whether it's the information system or the instrument panel display right there, and as well as the steering wheel instruments. That's all very easy to understand and easy to figure out. I do think it's kind of funky, these knobs here. I think that's kind of cool, actually. And they even have a few little cubby holes here in the dash as well to put keys or figurines or whatever else you want.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few things. It isn't perfect. I don't like these little extra windows that we've got up front here. And part of it is those windows combined with this dash, which is rather high, it makes it feel like you're in like a minivan.
Ah, okay.
And the whole feel, while I was driving this car was just from this angle, I feel like I'm kind of in a minivan, like an old Ford Windstar or something. So besides that, though, and that's me being nitpicky, it is a good interior, and I commend Kia for at least trying something different with these little windows.
I think it's an interesting and deep dash they have here. A lot of window space, huge windshield. As far as headroom and shoulder room, I think this front two seats are perfect, especially for this size of vehicle. We're talking about a compact sedan. It provides more than enough room, I think, for the driver and the passenger. We'll talk about the back seat legroom and headroom a little bit later.
I couldn't agree more, though. The sunroof does wonders for really making this thing seem bigger, and these little windows, and rear visibility is good as well. So even though this is a small car, it feels really good.
Some of the standard interior features here on the Rio include air conditioning, power windows and door locks, remote keyless entry, cruise control, leather wrapped steering wheel and gear shift knob, steering wheel paddle shifters as well, tilt and telescopic steering column, and a metal finish trim and metal pedals. On the outside, we have the auto on and off headlights, LED positioning lights and tail lights, front fog lights, and heated power folding mirrors with turn signal indicators.
Rear legroom in the Rio is adequate, considering that this is a fairly small car. My legs are lightly touching the seat. It's in the same position as where I was driving, and I am a pretty tall guy. Headroom, adequate. Overall, pretty decent, comparable with, say, the Accord or a Chevy Cruze. Let's head to the trunk and see if it's any better back there.
Alex, there are exactly two ways to open the trunk. One can be from inside the car. The second is only on the key fob. There's no way to manually open the trunk without the key fob or by going inside. So before we do that, I want to mention a couple of things here. First, you'll notice a little bit of an icon, a Kia icon down here. And what that is actually a sticker that is a bumper guard, hopefully against any scratches that you may happen to have during your loading or unloading the trunk. So you'll see a sticker here. It's very subtle, blends into the bumper just fine, but there's a Kia emblem right there. Also, the backup camera is actually up here, where normally, or generally speaking, you'll have a backup camera below and near the license plate. So, but Kia has it right here below the emblem. So double click to or hold on to the key fob to open the trunk. And here you have, which I think is above average trunk space for a car in this segment, a compact sedan. And these seats actually fold down, but the only way to do that is from the inside. Another thing you'll notice here, that it does not have a spare tire, but what it does have is a spare kit, just in case you do have a flat tire, even though there's plenty of space for a spare tire back here. So the MSRP in the 2013 Kia Rio is $17,700. That's the base price. We also have the premium package, which is another $2,300. A few other extras, freight handling. We're looking at just over 21 grand for the Rio. Talk about the competition for this vehicle.
Well, the Hyundai Accent immediately comes to mind, which actually shares some mechanicals with this car. Chevy Sonic, Honda Fit, and also the Ford Fiesta. This is a crowded segment, but this Kia is one of the best.
This was funny. One of the first times I saw this vehicle, there were two things that stood out to me. The back end reminded me of a Mazda 3, which we've reviewed, and the front end reminded me of a Prius, which are completely two opposite types of vehicles, even though they're in the similar segment, so to speak. So putting those together, that's what this car looks like, minus the Kia badge.
Yeah, this is way better looking than the old Rio, which was sort of the laughing stock of Kia's lineup. Still, to me, not a great looking car, but then again, none of the cars in this segment are. It's hard to make a good looking small sedan. So overall, not bad. Nice wheels, good color.
All right, let's give a rating for everyone out there who might be in the market for one of these vehicles, because I do think the gas mileage is one of the biggest selling points, averaging around 31 in mixed driving. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the Rio?
I'm going to give this car an 8. I think for the amount of features that you get, you get navigation, the satellite, the heated seats, the leather-wrapped steering wheel, the sunroof, the good wheels, the nice paint. You're getting all of these things for basically $21,000. So I would recommend this car to the person who cares less about the driving experience. They care less about having a little tauter suspension or a little better chassis or a little bigger motor, and instead wants the features that I just named. And I think for the ideal buyer, say, a young female, I think this is a really attractive package.
I think it's a great starter car.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
Especially for that starting price of $17,700. I'm going to give it an 8.5. maybe a 9.
Yeah.
Just because I think economically, this is a great car to begin your driving life with, especially for that person, maybe right out of high school, or even a college grad, or maybe going into college.
Yeah.
This is a great car to have to get going, and also keep an extra few dollars in your back pocket.
You got it.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Everyman Driver. Alongside Alex DeFries, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.